already know what it is, man. And I want to bring up my other co-host in the building also as well. All the time, we got that boy Patton, the mailman, aka
it's Texans on 3.
Draft God.
You know what it is.
Y'all already know what it is. And y'all already know, man, we got my other guy in the building, man. I don't know if he's on camera yet. Oh, there you go. Killer Cam, my bad. I said Killer Cam. Maybe that's because I was paying attention to the Cameron and the Jello thing I was watching just not too long ago. About him saying he was a better rapper than Killer Cam, but now we got somebody better, man. We got Killer Cam in the building, man. Let's get that boy another. And we also want to give y'all an applause to everybody in the bull ring and everybody that will be, asking questions on the show like that, man. We got a big show for y'all, man. As y'all can see by the title, man, new OC, who this? We'd like to welcome Nick Caley to the Houston Texans. We got Miss Swan in the building.
What's up, Swan?
Hey, we appreciate you having you in the building with us, man. It's about to go down. Let's believe that. I'm excited, fellas. I think that, just bro, having the high energy like he do, and what we was talking about on the line earlier today about, the possible changing of the offensive line scheme that we run. Think y'all was saying the gap something. What was you saying it was?
Yo, before I get into that, he already in the bull ring, man. Hey, shout out to our brother Larry Payton, man. He going through a difficult time right now. He just lost a best friend of his. I just want to shout him out, man. Brother, you in my prayers.
Hey, for real, man. Yeah. Most definitely.
We're gonna get to it soon, brother. But
our condolences to you, man, and
much love, bro. Much love.
Yeah. I know that could be something hard, man. Going through something like that. I'm not even gonna pause that because that's serious. But other than that, man, hey, like I say, okay. Let me make sure I get that up there.
Infamous.
Yeah. But like I said, man, it's about to be a hell of a show, as y'all can tell by the name of the show, new OC, who this. I'm excited, and I'm gonna try to get you out there excited too. You know what I'm saying? I really, if you go back on some shows, you know what I'm saying. This is one of the people other than Chip Kelly who I was really advocating for. I actually kind of feel stupid for advocating for Chip Kelly. It was just, I don't know. It was like, because this goes to show you what type of Texans fan now. I was like, now that Nick Caley in the building, it's like he part of the squad now, and it's like, hey, I ain't even tripping on what I was thinking at first, but I do now. Like hindsight, when I look at it, it's another one of those things where, like, it's the hottest person out there, and everybody just wanted him. But what we don't realize is that Nick Caley was also a hot commodity out there in the NFL, and there was a lot of people trying to get him too. He had to turn down a couple of places, I believe, just to to pick
the Jets and New England. He quote unquote rejected their offer.
Yeah, so that let me know something right there that
and it wasn't for money. Money wasn't an issue. That's the thing. Like, he turned down more money, I feel like, for the better opportunity to come here. Like, if you want to weigh the options real quick, you're going to New York. Much respect, like mad respect to Aaron Glenn. I feel like he's going to go over there and be the guy to turn it around over there in New York.
Oh yeah, he gangster, bro. Like,
like
the way he handling that media is all I need to see.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, shout out to a few people I know that's Jets fans. But if you look at, like, let's weigh the options real quick, right? For him to not want to go to New York to deal with that debacle in Aaron Rodgers, who's to say he's going to be there this year or not? Then you look in New England. Shout out to John Hickman. I know that's his squad. I don't believe in Drake May. I feel like he did what he could with what he had.
He's not better than Milton, though.
No, not at all. I feel like that's going to be one of those situations that Washington had when they had RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
And it's kind of crazy because RG3 was the better talent, overall player, Kirk Cousins was just more consistent. He didn't really get hurt as much. What's his name? Mike Shanahan ruined RG3, my personal opinion. So it made sense for him to come here. Now, I'm with you because I know you was kind of like a Chip Kelly guy, and I was beating the table.
Nick Kelly was my number 2 though. He was my number 2, but
all I wanted was Doug.
I wanted, I know who you wanted, and I know that, bro. They ain't even sniff his direction, bro, and I don't know why was that so. Probably because I heard through the grapevine that he wanted to take a year off, so maybe they did, and he just was like, "Nah, I'm trying to take the year off." But I think if you weigh what's going on, like now we know Doug Peterson runs a nice stout offense. I think that what we can get from Nick Caley won't be too they two different types of philosophies though, but I don't know. I just rather have Caley. I don't know. I feel like that McVay, that tree, that coaching tree, when you actually break down McVay's coaching tree, it's not like Belichick's at all. Like it's success. Like everybody who comes from up under him has success, bro. It's wild. It really is. I don't know if y'all realize that, but it's like
you
got a nice tree.
I texted out earlier. I was
and
like,
he really liked, and he really not liked. He loved Nick Caley. Gave him a game ball out the game. Somebody said it was because they had just beat the Patriots or whatever, but I don't know. I just feel like even that other interview, I might try to get it up before we get off of here, but the interview where it's just McVay on the screen talking, and he's talking about how he's just saying some glaring things about Nick Caley, bro, and just looking at the guy and looking at his resume, I just think that everything's in front of him to succeed. It just still has to be done. Still got to be done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna pass it on y'all. How y'all feeling about this new hire? Hey, you real low.
I'm low.
Yeah, as far as your volume.
Okay, let me get off because I was about to ask. Hold on. All right, what is it like now?
Yeah, maybe something probably blocking your mic or something.
Okay, I'm trying to get. I was on this phone.
Turn your surround sound off because I can hear the echo in the back.
Hey, go ahead and talk. I'm trying to turn this thing off, man.
Oh, okay. Now look at this retreat what did they say? Retreat hell? Or retreat I don't know. I don't want to say that the wrong way. But anyway, Jimmy Boy, 79. Hey, I like how he got it simplified in the parentheses. He said, y'all seen the new hire, Jerry Skoplinski. Who is that? You're going to have to hit us. He says, very good hire that will help CJ. So do y'all know who that is?
He's a senior offensive assistant. He was the he was Tom Brady, former quarterback coach.
Okay.
So he got ties with Nick, Caley, and Caserio back in New England.
Oh, okay. And Brandon said it's Rams senior offensive assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's starting to build the squad. He's building this squad up from who was around in different other places.
He's also keeping Cole Popovich too as the O-line. When they promoted him to offensive line coach.
Mm-hmm. He was assistant, right?
The assistant O-line coach.
Last year.
Mm-hmm.
Does that worry y'all?
No, because we knew no matter who we hired as a offensive coordinator,
mm-hmm.
we as fans would have to get behind them whether we like it or not. And the more and more I look into him and study him and learn more about him, I'm kind of encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
We with me and Calvin on H-Town rundown with AD yesterday, and I wasn't feeling that shit at all. Like, dude, why we got him? Because I wanted Doug Peterson. But after the show, and we did a pull-up spaces too. But later on that night, man, I just did my homework. I was like, okay, I can see the vision, right? Which I was telling you guys earlier. I said, man, I can see us. We finna run the power gap scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's with the O-line we got now, those guys are built for that. They're not built for the zone blocking scheme, which is I feel like it's a very simple scheme, but you got to have the right type of lineman to run that. But I feel like he's going to run it back with his offensive line. He may get what nobody else could get out of Kenyon Green. You know, you let me tell
we was talking about that.
Hey, you let me tell the Kenyon Green gonna be at the H. He be pushing the baskets, man.
Hey, if he can push the whole
bunch way at the back too. Yeah, I'm way at the back. Come get
you ever seen when the workers go like way out there and they get like by 20 baskets? It'd be like they pushing a train coming back up to the front of them. He might be good at that. But I want to say this too before we get too far. Damian Steels actually put up here a list of that successful McVay tree that we've been seeing. And what's crazy though is I look at Cohen, right? I wish I had a button I can. You know what? I'm gonna actually get his Duval, the one that he said that was so awkward, and I'm gonna put it on the button for the season. Was crazy. We gonna be making fun of them boys.
Hey, but anyway, out of those four, only 3 are head coaches, I believe. I don't Zach Taylor. I think Zach Taylor's an OC somewhere. I don't know what
he's OC somewhere, but he's still successful though. That's the thing. Like each one of these guys, when they go somewhere, they are drastically successful. Like I think Cohen is the reason that Tampa Bay went to the playoffs last year. Just like I say, it's crazy even when you think about like that the Rams went to the playoffs. I know we said a lot of this online, but I want to make sure we say it to the people. That was a time during the year when they showed the NFC playoff racing where everybody was standing like around week 14, week 15. And I seen the LA Rams up there and I was surprised because I didn't even know they were doing that good. I didn't even know that they were like anywhere near being in the playoffs. I thought they was having another mediocre season. But what I learned is that McVay, just on his coaching alone, on the strength of him alone, because even when you see those teams when they had the down year after the Super Bowl and all of that, and right that next year he had them like and normally it take a couple of years to get back after having that down year after the Super Bowl, and he had them guys right back playing that McVay style of football. So it's like his brand of football is true, it's proven, it's tried, it's proven through and through. I think we should be excited. I wonder if the Texans in picking him up, did it have anything to do with the fact that Cohen went to the Jaguars? What do y'all think? Do y'all think it was something like, okay, if this the type of offense that the Jags are about to get into and we in the same division with these guys, like we need to kind of turn it up on the offensive side of two, or do y'all think it had zero to do with our decision?
0.
No, I think it's 0.
Okay. Let's see.
Somebody says Zach Taylor, he's the head coach for the Bengals.
Oh, you know what? I didn't know that. You right, bro. You said Zach what? What did you say?
I think I said Zach Robinson.
Look, if you'd have said Zach Taylor, I would have been like, hold up, man. Hey, our bad, y'all. That's very much our bad. Hey. Hold on, let me go back to this one.
Larry I was about to say about that one. Yeah.
He said, I don't like to hire too much in New England influence and Caserio too involved with coaches. D'Amico, watch your back. I don't know, Larry. I don't know. Like I feel like D'Amico, when he looks at his football team, and I think Caserio understands this about D'Amico, that D'Amico is going to handle that defense, man. He's our head coach, but he's really the defensive coordinator. And on that side of the ball, I think that if you just let D'Amico hyper focus, do his thing over there, that if we just have like a competent offense, like we was talking about earlier, if we could just have an offense that can score 21 points a game with the defense that we have, you can start shutting teams down, and especially if you can score 28. You score 28, and with the running game that's possibly that can be involved with what we got going on right now, because like we said earlier, in those Patriots teams of back in the day when we couldn't stand them, even though Tom Brady was the man, he was always said to be the man. They always had a stout running game. Their running game was crazy, which was allowing Tom Brady to be Tom Brady. and it was giving him room. Like y'all remember they would be like, New England got like the best offensive line in football and all of that, and I think it was mostly scheme when you think about it. It's the fact that we could run the ball down your throat, and you don't know when we are going on pass downs. You didn't have the blitz really wasn't coming like it would if you knew what plays were coming, especially if they running so good, they putting you on your pockets all the time. But yeah, I just think that the New England influence, I understand what Larry's saying. That's coming from the fact, y'all, that everybody that's come, just like I just spoke earlier about the difference between the McVay tree and the Belichick tree. A lot of people who then came from up under that New England tree has not found success, and everybody has this going joke. Yeah, they take the offense here and they go there, but they don't take Tom Brady. So it can't work without Tom Brady. Well, there is one player that's came into the league that even Tom Brady has took a liking to, put him on his wing. Kind of was disappointed by him this year, just like we all were. But I feel like I feel like what CJ can be that type of player that we haven't seen in a long time, that can get in that system and run it kind of just like what Tom Brady did. So I'm not really too scared of the New England thing, because I understand the reason why it does not succeed over the league. But what y'all think about
that? Larry, this for you. Let it go, brother. Just heal. Like Bill O'Brien is gone. Hops in the Super Bowl. Like that team, one person that was still here from his tender is, of course, old faithful John Weeks. Eric Murray contract finally up. But I feel you though. We got to take the good with the bad. You know, we don't really know what we got right now until we see it in our face. You know what I'm saying? What she say? Nah, I love Swan, bro. She is so crazy. Like, you can't help but love Swan, bro. She the best. But honestly though, man, I'm gonna keep it 1,000, bro. I'm ready for the draft. All right.
Yeah, that draft gonna say a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
You feeling your staff together? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're getting your staff together. All right, cool. But I want to see how we're gonna approach free agency. We got to free up money first. So honestly, I'm not really worried about free agency. Like, where I'm seeing it right now, I think Diggs is gone. If he can't get his number in time, I think he's gone. That's my personal opinion.
What you mean? If he can't get his number in time?
His contract.
Oh,
there's a number he's looking for, right? Coming off his injury. And if he stays here, it's going to have to be a discount. It's going to have to be. If he goes somewhere else, that price.
I don't think nobody going to pay him really neither, though, to be honest.
You don't know. You don't know. I mean, we were one of those teams that they had to pay that luxury tax because we were bad.
Man, you know who the only person that to pay him?
Who?
The place where wide receivers go to die.
Hey, it might.
Y'all know who that is, right? If y'all know who that is, put it in the bull ring.
Hey, you see Hop say when he was there, he stopped loving football.
Hey, I'm telling you, it's the place that wide receivers go.
But hey, man,
they will be the only one, because if you look at the way the NFL works, right? At least I've learned this side of the business, right? Sometime when you got a crowd of people, right? You got your palace, your stadium, and you got a crowd of people, and you got your gladiators out there on the field, and you got somebody to come out there and put a whooping on you, put a nice game on y'all, right? One thing that you realize is that the people, the people who come out there and you have a nice game and you got the people watching, right? The thing is that you have to realize is that as I'm saying this, y'all, this is actually slipping my mind, because I glanced over here at the screen and seen wherever he goes, he's taking a discount.
Yeah, Steels, he got it.
That's exactly what we were saying, Steels. He's gonna end up going to the Titans. Oh, this is what I was saying about the money, how the money works in the NFL. You see a player come there, just like let's use the one time we played Miami, right? And y'all remember there was this running back that had like 2 80-yard touchdowns on us.
Yeah. Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller, right? Now, Lamar came up to be a free agent that year, and when your agent is shopping you, they gotta shop you like this. This the behind the scenes shit. They gotta be like, hey, my player had this against your team and blah, 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 this and that. Your fans probably was heartbroken, but will be happy as hell to have them on their team because they seen what he can do. And just like it happened when we signed him, we was all like, oh shit, we got Lamar Miller. You talking about the dude that ran for about 1,000 yards in one game on us?
What happened was Bob McNair said, when I watched that youngster play, every time I looked up, all I could see was the back of his jersey. I think that was the one time that owner got involved and say, I want that guy. Mm-hmm. It's because of what he did to us. That was the only time that Bob McNair just stuck his nose into it because of what he was able to see. And that was his exact words. Every time I looked up, I just seen the back of his jersey.
Yep. And then look at it from, you see it happen in the league all the time though. Like you see, so this is what I'm saying as far as Diggs go. If Diggs doesn't fit with us, because this has to be a thing where now is he in his career where he's like, yo, I'm trying to get the most money, or is he trying to be comfortable? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time it's the money. We know that.
Think about this. If he don't play with us next year, we still owe him $16 million. We erased, was it 2-3 years off of his contract?
As a favor, a gigantic favor. And I think that if we sign him, we keep some of that $16 million. Like it could be allocated other places. Like we actually save if we sign him.
Yeah. So now you have a guy that's, he came from Josh Allen to CJ. And like you're gambling to go somewhere else. And if you know the culture, and one thing about it is he said he likes the culture in Houston. That could be just microphone talk. They got the mic in your face and you're going to say all the great things, or you're going to chase the dollar signs. Well, he made quite a bit of money in his career as a 5th round pick. So do you want to run it back with CJ and the new offensive coordinator? And you can get your numbers and possibly go to the Super Bowl, or you're going to chase the dollar. So it's about what he wants, what's inside of his heart. Yep. And me personally, I think that if you are second fiddle to a guy that I feel like if he plays 17 games and the offensive line protect him, Nico Collins can get you 1,800 yards in a year. I've been banging the Nico Collins bandwagon for a long time. Before everybody was on it, I was like, Nico is that guy. I feel like Nico can run out there and get you 100 yards. He's going to get you 18 yards a catch. CJ looks to him, and now you got a new offensive coordinator. So not only that, he's going to get other guys involved, which is going to alleviate Nico from being having that safety continue to roll on top of him. Because you got a guy that's a tight ends coach. So
these tight ends are about to be like we about to see some tight end play that we may have never seen.
Let me tell you something. Nico Collins is going to be a happy guy. I'm going to tell you, because Nico going to get his 12 targets a game. 12 targets can get you 9 catches a game. 9 catches at 17 yards a catch is going to get you well over 100 yards. And in 17 games, it's going to get you 1,800 yards. It's going to get you double-digit touchdowns.
Hey, I want to say real quick what Swan had said. I agree with that. I do agree that he may I hope, because the later you get in your career, it starts to become more like the things that you just want to do now. Like, you know what? It would be kind of nice to play with my brother on the team. I hope he's not feeling like that. I would like to have Diggs back. Would you rather have Diggs? I know for sure one thing that I don't want to do because I don't understand the compensation, because I think he's a pretty high paid wide receiver, but I don't know if I want to trade for Cooper Kupp. If we did get him though, I want to be the first to say on this show that I want to nickname him Cooper Double Cup. We're gonna be calling him Cooper Double Cup if he come to Houston. We got to call him that. That's gonna be his nickname. But other than that though, I do kind of feel you, Swan. Larry had agreed with you, Patton, on the fact that you said he's still hurting from the Patriots South era in Houston. Kaylee probably have to get CJ MVP for me to heal. I agree with that, bro. I definitely think that's exactly what
we're talking about. Pause, bro.
Hold on, I'm gonna get down to that. Hey, look, and the crazy thing is too is that CJ, he's openly said that he's happy about or have watched this offense. He's watched different people in this offense. I think this type of offense is something that other quarterbacks, at least I know good quarterbacks that know that they can perform well in this system. When you watch it and you be like, hey, I would like, and I did find it weird that when during the season he was asked, and he was like, yeah, I watch other offenses. And he said that the Rams was one of them. And we see now how that came together where he's going to actually be playing in it. I think I think he should be excited. And like that other, what Steele said earlier about the new hiring. No, what's that Steele said that? No, that was Jimmy Boy said that. But about the new hiring. And I think that's going to be good for CJ too. DQ say Nick Kelly can make CJ look a lot better than the last two seasons, in my opinion. Yeah, I think so, but it's real crazy, y'all, on like what Bobby did. It's like, honestly, to put it in a nutshell, Bobby just said, you know what, I'm gonna run my offense that had success in the league his first year. Had different people interviewing him for head coach jobs. The Texans paid him more to stay. And I think that went to his head because Bobby wasn't willing to change anything. I just see that not being the case with Kaylee. You know what I'm saying? I know he's never called plays before. And I told somebody, I think I put in the comments when y'all were on the show yesterday, I was like, play calling is not rocket science. It actually ain't. I play Madden. It's not a play call is not the end all be all. It's the scheme. If you got a horrible scheme, or if you got like we all know this, right? You run into somebody online and you playing in Madden and they got a blitz. And let's just say you got the best offense in the world, right? And you not paying attention to their blitz. You like, look, I'm not even gonna pay attention to it. I'm not gonna try to shift my line. I'm just gonna call the play and I'm gonna walk up. I'm just gonna hike the ball. Man, you're gonna get your ass tore up like that. I'm telling you. What happens is and this is what Bobby was doing. Bobby did not ever compensate for the blitz. It's like he would just be like, hey, I know this is a nice play. It's gonna have some funky motion, some kind of crazy motion going on. It's gonna look good, but the blitz is just gonna come straight through, and that's what was Bobby's fault. I just don't see that with Kaylee. I just don't see that. I think that he's not that full of himself.
Well, two things that stops that is, and here's the thing: Bobby come from PFF. Analytic guys, they know that they're the smartest in the room. So when you the smartest in the room and you go by analytics, you know that when I draw this shit up on this whiteboard, and everybody's like, right now, you got people talking about Popovich and everybody else, Gerard Johnson that was in the room. When you're the smartest guy in the room, you're not listening to nobody else because you feel like you're a made man. Like, you know the chemistry of football. And y'all still dealing with like building blocks. Y'all got the back in the day in elementary, you had the abacus where you just slide the shit and you counting 1, 2, 3. Like, hey, that's the old shit. Bobby was like, I'm on some new shit. So I don't think Bobby was like willing to listen. My thing is with Kaylee, with Gerard Johnson, and with CJ, when you have those three guys in the same room, they're gonna figure out what CJ's strength is and what he likes to do. And looking at this swamp, Matthew Stafford is one of CJ's favorite quarterbacks. We seen Matthew Stafford in Detroit. He was a hell of a passer, and if he would have stayed in Detroit, he would have ended up like your boy in Miami, Dan Marino.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Marino was one of the best passers of the ball, one of the greatest. Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl, I think his rookie year or his second year, never got back again. And he's just like a folklore. Like, it's like, oh, yeah, he was good, but hey, where's your chip? My thing is, now you have three offensive brains in the same room, and they're young, and they've been around the NFL. My thing is, they're going to get into the room. They're going to figure out what CJ like. And like we said earlier, like we had the pre-conference call today between, us three. We was chopping it up. And my thing is this, man. I think that they're going to figure out what CJ like, and they're going to make it real comfortable what CJ like, and they just going to make it simple for him.
Hey, that's a good point.
And CJ is not going to be overruled on some shit that like he wanted to do, and Bobby was like, no, we're not going to do this because that's not part of my game plan. So like we was talking about earlier in the day, we was talking about this shit. I just really think, man, this shit is gonna be a smooth transition, man. They're gonna run out some shit. And the thing about it is, another thing we did talk about is second half adjustments. The Texans can score 17 points under Bobby Slowick in the first half. They can score 20. Second half, they can't score a damn touchdown. I don't think the Texans scored two touchdowns. Like, I can't think of 3 games that they scored 2 touchdowns in the second half in 17 games.
And
not the offense. Not the offense.
And the defense would have to step in and do something. But you're right.
Yeah.
They never could do that, and it just goes to show the stubbornness of him not wanting to disguise nothing. Like, we're going to line it right back up. Like how we did it. Hey, remember what happened on that time? Last time we called that play, they ran that stunt. Hey, don't worry about that. Just hike the ball. That was Bobby thing right there. We should have came up with some shirts or something. Just hike the ball. That's all Bobby wanted to do was just line up and hike the ball, man. I'm pretty sure every time CJ ran to the sideline and was messed up, Bobby slapped him on the shit and said, hey, just hike the ball. Like when you coming from out of the huddle and it's 9 seconds, it ain't too much you can do. I think this time we see CJ actually being able to change a play, actually be able to call an audible, like stuff that we know that he can do, man. Like they were trying to play CJ like his score that everybody was trying to say that he scored on that test or whatever. It's like, come on, bro. Like you literally put that the ball and chain on CJ this year, and I believe that's what got him fired.
If you remember Gary Kubiak. If y'all go back to that shit, that's why I'm kind of glad that we away and Swan can chime in on this shit because I know I heard him say it before. I'm kind of glad that we're away from the Gary Kubiak Shanahan scheme. Here's why. You know that the same thing was happening with Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub could not come to the line of scrimmage and change the play because Gary Kubiak. That offense is predicated on you running exactly what they call. And CJ is a quarterback that he can go to the line of scrimmage. We've seen that at Ohio State. This is a guy that's 20, 21 years old. He coming to the line of scrimmage and he can change the play. But how can I change the play if, you have up until 15 seconds into your earpiece? And then you go to the line of scrimmage. Time is counting down. and then defense is not really set. So you go to the line of scrimmage, like you said, Nitty, you had 7 seconds.
Exactly.
So now that's not enough time to identify if the safety is in zone. Do I think the linebacker's coming? Do I see? Okay, what did I see on the film? Okay, they lined up over here. I see this dude in a wide 9, but I see also the defensive tackle is playing on the outside 5.
But you can't do nothing
You
about
can't
it.
do
That's why
nothing.
all you can do is what? Hike the ball. That's
Hike
all
the
you can do.
man.
And it's like, that's why if you notice, CJ would literally get away from sacks by knowing where the blitz was coming from. So they can't say that, hey, CJ don't know where the blitz coming from. No, the man would take off running as soon as he hiked the ball because he already knew where it was coming from. It was ridiculous, bro. And now it's like I say, they say hindsight is 20/20. You can totally see clearly now, like that when CJ was coming off the field and he was frustrated. Remember, because me and Patton was tearing him up all season, man. We was like, hey, that's not a leader. That's not how you supposed to. Do you remember last year how he was slapping fives with everybody? He was cranking the defense up. He was just turned up all the way around. This year, he really was trying to talk to. He was telling us something, but we wasn't listening. He was trying to tell us that, hey, man, Bobby is putting me in some real messed up positions out here, pause, and I can't do what I'm supposed to do. Swan says, preach, Killer Cal. So many fans have revisionist history about Kubiak because he won a Super Bowl with the Broncos, but they forget there was no ways, no fly defense in Peyton. See, look, let's say this, Swan, and a lot of people don't recognize this too. They literally said this. When they brought Peyton over there, Peyton was going to install some of what he does in the offense. That wasn't really just like a regular Kubiak offense. That was a Kubiak kind of what they call it when you add something else. It was Kubiak Deluxe. It was a Peyton, because they had to put some of his terminology in there. He came there
when he was in Denver.
Yeah, when he was in Denver, you don't think Peyton was calling audibles out there?
Peyton runs his own offense. He calls his own plays. Only thing that Kubiak was able to do was do the running plays.
That's how it works. That's it, bro. I'm telling you. So Peyton was his own OC. So that was a different version. That was a revised version. Like, and I'm glad Swan brought that up. That is not something that should go down in history as, hey, the Kubiak system won a Super Bowl with the Broncos.
Hey, Nitty. Let me back you up on something. It was a chance for us to get Peyton down here.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And you know why?
Because Kubiak said he was good with Shaw.
Kubiak wanted to have his thumb on the play calling. Peyton is a guy that goes to the line of scrimmage, and he'll go and we seen it. Like, we seen it in Denver when he's calling the Omaha and all that. But if you watched him in Indianapolis, and we watched him twice a year, Peyton was calling the plays from the line of scrimmage, bro.
And that's what made us want that. We was like, how come our quarterback can't do that?
But see, here's the thing, though. We had a chance to get him, and Peyton Manning even came out and said he wanted to come and play with us.
Well, my heart was like, what? I was so pissed off, bro.
And we passed on him because Kubiak was hard-headed. So that's why I say I agree with Swan that I wanted to get away from this Kubiak scheme. Like, I understand what Larry talking about, but see, getting away from the New England Patriots way, New England Patriots have 6-7 Super Bowls. Why I'm gonna get away from success?
See, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't make sense when you hear people say that respectfully. I'm like, yo, that's a dynasty over there.
Stay with success, and it looked like that it will work. Like we looking at Nick Caserio right now and all his draft picks, and what we said today in our pre-meeting today. Every pick that Nick Caserio has made came from a Power 5, except Tank Dell. And Tank Dell was part of the AAC, I think. But when U of H went to the Big 12, but Tank Dell didn't play in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Caserio goes big game hunting. When you look at the New England Patriot draft picks, we was like, who in the hell is that, and what school did they come from? So my thing is, it's a whole different philosophy when you're talking about the Patriots way and Nick Caserio, because it's totally different in the way that he drafts and the way Bill Belichick drafts. But going back to, the Kubiak scheme, I'm glad, because one thing that would, and that's what made me look at it when Swan said, hey, that Kubiak Shanahan scheme, we always up on that, but let's look at that shit closely.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at it, yeah, Kubiak won a Super Bowl, when he left here. But you had Peyton Manning who wanted to come here.
What's the key? What's always been the driving key behind that Shanahan / Kubiak type of offense? The linchpin is a powerful running back. If they got, whenever that scheme could be ran anywhere, but whenever there's a real dominant running back like a Arian Foster, what's my other guy?
Terrell Davis drafted in the 6th round, bro.
Yeah, bro, when they got a running back that can actually run, that's when it starts to work. Because why? What do we know that's the heart of that defense, the nucleus, is that it's a run to pass offense. Right. If you got the run game humming, then all of a sudden you can just play action off that's why the offense is kind of boring in a sense, because it's like, hey, smash mouth. Okay, they think we finna run. What's the guy that used to do the bootlegs better than anybody else in that? What's the name? Jake Plummer. Jake Plummer used to run that bootleg like none other, bro. That was my first time really paying attention to that offense when Jake Plummer was there, and I learned it, and I was like, okay, that's how this is going to be ran. I even know that when we got Kubiak as a coach, that's what we was about to have going on. That zone running scheme, like I say, I used to hear players talk about how much they hate. I'm talking about the opposing players. They used to hate it because they was like, it's almost like a finesse kind of BS kind of offense, because you got, offensive linemen chopping at your knees and just falling over and making power. It's kind of a weird offense, but that power to me is like real man football. If that's what we ran or were running when we had what's name playing at his best, goddamn DP, Damian Pierce. I think that's gonna be good. I think that Joe can, can play good in a system like that too. Even though I know that they said Joe coming over here to this type of style offense is just gonna do wonders for Joe.
Joe is a complete back.
He had 1,000 yards, but I think he can do it out of that power too.
Well, like we were talking about earlier on the phone, that team, Cincinnati, runs their 60-40 team, 60 zone, 40 power. Joe is just a complete back. This year we ran, I want to say damn near 90% zone, maybe 10% power.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe made shit work because Joe can make shit work. Nick, going into this year, and we won't know how the offensive line is going to look until training camp or really week 1 of next season.
Mm-hmm.
But I look for Joe to have 1,500 yards off the rip if these guys are going to do what I think they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I want to go to Brandon's comment. He was saying by Nico and Elijah Aurora would take the tops off of defenses. A little bit of draft talk. Elijah Aurora reminds me of a civilian version of Aaron Hernandez. A civilian version. Now, the only knock on him is, he tore his ACL. That's the only knock. He's not a physical guy. He's not going to go in there and block. He's 1,000% a receiving tight end. He's a big ass receiver, but he's like imagine Andre Johnson, height, weight, speed, playing tight end. Just maybe a tad bit bigger, height and weight wise.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I don't think it'll work here, because if you're gonna get him, he's, in my personal opinion, he's a younger Dalton Schultz. a younger and bigger and maybe faster Dalton. Well, not maybe. He is a faster Dalton Schultz.
Mm-hmm. I've seen some nice tight ends in this draft. I think it's about 3 or 4 of them probably.
Some nice tight ends, period. Well, first of all, the number 1 tight end
is from Iowa.
No, he's not. He's from Michigan.
Oh, what's his name?
Loveland.
Okay, what you think he's gonna be? What's his NFL comp?
Loveland?
Yeah.
Oh. I got him between 3 guys. I have him as a lighter Antonio Gates, a lighter George Kittle, and a faster Tony Gonzalez. Reason why I named all those guys is he's not the best blocker, but he's a willing blocker. He will get his hands dirty. He would show way more effort than Dalton Schultz. However, he is a prime receiving tight end.
Hey, do y'all think Dalton Schultz is a loafer, or do you think he puts all his effort into it, he just can't block?
I feel like this season here, he was going through something personal. He had to be going through something personal because it was as if he was taking plays off and he wasn't trying. And I feel like he was more so in his feelings because he wasn't heavily involved in the offense as he thought he should have been, especially due to the contract he resigned. So that's just me shooting him some bail. Mm-hmm. But, dude, ain't no way in the hell I'm playing football and I'm supposed to block you and I'm just patty caking with you. Like,
yeah,
no.
It looked like he act like he playing injured, but I don't think that's what it is. Because it looks real weak. I'm talking about his point of attack is very weak. I want to read this by Swan. I want to read this by Swan.
Yeah, read that by
it's a good point.
Yeah.
She says you got to separate the New England culture from the offensive scheme. Miko is the culture, so I'm not worried about the Patriot way culture, but we can take some of that offense with our elite pocket QB. See, that is a good point. Like it's and the reason my favorite thing out of the point is the elite pocket QB. That's the one I was trying to say that Tom Brady sees in CJ also. Like bro can run if which we all seen that. But how many quarterbacks do we see that just can light it up from a quarter that make it look old school? Like CJ be almost out there. You watch especially in his rookie season, like CJ was out there looking like the vintage quarterback. Like I'm talking about his footwork and shit. Like bro, if he got a 5-step drop, by the time he hit that 5-step drop, man, he looking to release that ball. Something about the way Bobby had him playing this year made all of that null and void. I promise, I wish y'all, like, this is show number 68. If y'all can see, no, we didn't do, look, we've been doing this show so long, it made me feel like we was doing a show last year, but no, we wasn't doing one for his rookie season. But in his rookie season, I used to say this to my partners all the time as we was watching the game. I used to say my favorite thing about CJ is his feet, man. And I don't have a foot fetish. I'm talking about his feet. Like you could see, big pause. You can see that when CJ was working out at the combine, his feet was just immaculate. His feet was so good, y'all, that I just did not think that there was no way that the Carolina Panthers not pick CJ. I started telling everybody who was around me, I say, well, look, man, we won that game. And we still gonna end up with the guy that we all wanted because we all know we was thinking Bryce Young. And and I say, man, when I saw CJ at the combine, I say, man, we are still gonna be able to get our guy because not because CJ looked bad, but he looked so damn good. I was like, there's no way in the world Carolina doesn't pick him. Then you know we all seen the infamous exchange with him with Josh McCown, where they was talking about, well, yeah, we'll play, what's the name? We'll find a court in Charlotte. And it was kind of like a little thing where it was like, yeah, we're going to pick you. And the fact that they didn't pick him and what I said actually panned out on the field, I was like, look at bro feet. Look at how his mechanics are. His mechanics were crazy.
Footwork.
This year, did we see that? Like, did we see that? We didn't see nothing about his footwork, bro, at all this year. It just didn't happen, bro. It just didn't happen. And I think that just because CJ knew what blitzes were coming, but Bobby was running certain plays that he just wasn't listening to CJ, bro.
Yeah, I mean your mechanics are gonna break down when the pressure is on you. Like we can really say that this was CJ worst year.
Thus far.
Yeah, I mean, like CJ had better years in college than what we seen this past year.
Mm-hmm.
And I just always say, if you protect CJ and he stay on his feet,
right there. Keep that comment right there. I'm gonna comment with countdown. Sorry.
Okay. CJ can stay on his feet. Like CJ can be top 5, top 3. Like he can pick you apart, man. And you just need an offensive coordinator, a play schemer, somebody that can just make sure that, okay, if they blitzing, let's get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, like competence, bro.
Bro, you can blitz me so many times, and if I do several dump offs and I'm getting 3, 4, 5 yards on every dump off, those defensive linemen are going to get tired. And the defensive coordinator is going to be like, okay, we're not getting to the quarterback. We're going to have to do something different. And then that's when you can go back to the 5 and 7 step drop back.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to take what the defense give you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to get 300. You don't have to get 350 yards a game. I can get 250, no turnovers, 2 touchdowns. My run game get me 125, and I got time of possession of 35, and you got 25, and we gonna win the game.
Y'all remember at the beginning of the season how we all thought like Joe Mixon was gonna be involved in the passing game and stuff like that?
Bobby Sloyd.
It was ridiculous, bro. Like, are you seriously not gonna have Joe?
It wasn't necessarily Bobby, bro. It wasn't necessarily Bobby, bro. It wasn't necessarily Bobby, bro. CJ was missing a lot of throws to Joe out the backfield.
But you know what though, Patton? Yeah, he missed a lot. But a lot of times I just went and watched that.
Not 2 or 3 of them. Let's put an actual number on it. He missed about 3 passes.
I'll say about 10.
No.
10 out of 17 games is not.
Some of it was Joe's fault not running the right, getting to the spot on time. You got to think about that too.
A lot goes into it. But
if you go back, I just watched the Super Bowl game of the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And that running back, the little, what was his name? White.
Kevin White? No, not Kevin.
Not Kevin White. Can't think of his name.
I can look it up.
Number 25. I think
they had 2 small running backs. That White, didn't he end up going to the Titans?
I think he did, but he had like 2 or 3 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah.
If y'all could think of it. But the thing about it was, they ran their patterns, but the dump off was like not
James White.
Who?
James White.
Number 28.
The dump off to the running back wasn't like an afterthought. It was, we're gonna run these patterns. But we know because James White was real quick out of the backfield.
That was literally like they run game. They run game would be set up like through a pass. It's not just our run game. It's not just handed off.
You just articulated what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
It was he's not gonna run it between the tackles. But if we do play action, if you go back and watch this Super Bowl, we're gonna do a play action, and he's just gonna come. Play action, freeze the linebackers, come out of the backfield, catch the damn ball, and he's going to get plus yardage. And he got, I think it was like 2, maybe 3 touchdowns that game. I know.
Yeah, he the one that was like during that comeback, he was the one who was scoring the touchdowns, and I think that was his career game. It was funny that it was a Super Bowl, but yeah.
What I'm saying, the pattern is, the missed catches. A lot of those missed throws was because CJ was it was Nico Collins, it was Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz, and let's go ahead and hit Mixon out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a concentrated effort to go and hit your running back out of the backfield.
Yeah, it wasn't like this what we gonna do. It's like if this don't work downfield, and see CJ would throw that pass. This is why it would be an errant pass, because he was actually be looking elsewhere, and that would be his like that was a last this effort. Let me try to throw this over there, and that's why it would look like it looked. But like, I get what Killer's saying. Like if it's designed. If it's actually designed right, like, hey, this is probably going to be one of your options, or maybe this is your second option, or hey, this may even be the first option of this play. The first option is the running back. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think we about to start seeing.
Right. And you can go back to Marshall Faulk. You can go back to Ricky Waters. You can go back to a lot of them. That was like they're going to be the second read, but let's go ahead and rewind, because I know he wanted to hit on something that Swan was saying.
Yeah, that's why I pulled up the second comment.
Yeah,
she said Ham's going to be our Jimmy Graham.
All right, so Swan is, as y'all know, she's a hook 'em horn girl or woman, lady, however.
Hook 'em.
Yeah, they beat Go Blue this year. Ham had a good game.
They beat Go Blue.
They did, Anyways, I love Ham. I think he would be a good tight end, a perfect tight end for us. I just don't feel like he will be there. I feel like when it's time for us to take a tight end, we're gonna have to address other needs. If she's saying third round, I actually have a third round grade on him. I feel like, and her both agree on about this being a heavy offensive draft.
Mm-hmm.
I think by that time, if we go receiver first round, we may go back-to-back guards, center guard, guard center, 2 and 3. But I'm gonna go and tell y'all guys now, man, the tight end that's gonna be the perfect guy for us is Luke Lacey from Iowa. For what?
I'm moving these guys up right now as we speak. So
I put his profile in our chat, but once the world, and it was crazy, this guy has a 5th round grade. The only reason why he has a 5th round grade is he had injuries. He's yet to play a full season in college. When he did play, he was very, very productive. Couldn't nobody deal with him. He's a guy I feel like in this offense that Luke Lacey. Maybe I'm saying his last name wrong. He's from Iowa, number 85.
Lachey.
Like his
Lachey. Lachey. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I saw I missed his name up. But I'm telling you, for what Kaylee's going to do, and watching some of the Randy just put it in the bull ring. What Nick Kelly's going to bring to this team for utilizing the tight ends, because we're not going to have a fullback. That guy he can play fullback, he can play tight end. You can use him in so many ways. However, he is not a world beater when it comes to speed. He's not the fastest guy in the world. But he is a fucking dog. As Thompson say, dog.
Y'all know this is the off season, so we got to start showing some of these highlights.
It's my guy right here, man.
They didn't use him a lot. I got to go back and look at his film.
Broke it downfield though.
Yeah. So with Iowa, they had one of Michigan's old quarterback, and none of their quarterbacks to stay healthy this year. So they were rotating quarterbacks a lot. So, like I said, the production wasn't there as it should have been, but the potential and upside is high as hell.
Man, I would love to have him over. I just by looking at this right now, he look better than Schultz right now. Just right now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this.
What do you have him targeted to fall to?
5th round. Unless he goes to the combine and show the fuck out, the highest he can go is probably 3rd round. But if we're going to go 3rd round, it's a coin toss between him and Gunnar Helm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go watch film tonight. Shit.
That's the guy. I'm telling you, man. This is the guy. This is one of those hidden gems in the draft.
Man, I hope.
I will also.
Did he go to Senior Bowl?
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. Iowa also has a running back. I forget his name. I think he's either number 25 or number 4. He's one of those. He reminds me of Aaron Foster the way he runs. Very, very smooth.
Bro, catch the ball real like effortlessly.
Like I'm telling you, very secure hands, man.
But it looked like looking at the stats, and I don't want to be a stat guy. I go back and look at it. Gunnar and him have had just that one season. That was just last year. 60 catches for 786, 7 touchdowns.
Hold on, let me look up Gunnar Ham.
Yeah. And see, a lot of times, like UT was very pass happy with the wide receivers, and they tried to get their running backs involved. So
that's what's up, Swan.
A lot of times, tight ends can get lost in the mix.
Always.
Oh, the boy fumbled. It was the ground.
But hey, you know, this is one of the things that I'm so surprised that because and shout out to Larry Payton. I wanted to say this, man. It is a huge surprise that we have not seen another organization try to take the blueprint of what the New England Patriots tried to do when they had Gronk and Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine those two guys actually growing together when you had Amendola and everybody else? Like they were really slot.
That was the best tight end combo I've seen, other than what's the name them had this year. And look, this is another thing that should get us excited about Kaylee. The Rams. The Rams this year had 2 tight ends that were going off. Tyler Higbee and I can't think of the other guy.
I want to say Parkinson's 87.
I don't know, but I know they were going off. And this system thrives on that. You gotta almost have 2 tight ends, and that's why I think Brevin Jordan going like, and I don't want us to forget about Brevin, y'all. We still got Brevin.
Hey, look here, man. I was big on Brevin because Brevin was a wide receiver. You know, he went to AMG Academy. So since he been in high school, he was all about football. He's like he's a football, like he was built to play football.
Hey, why am I saying this? And I know Swan probably gonna get mad at me, but bro, looking real Schultz is out there though. I'm not gonna lie, I promise, bro. And look, one thing we do know that's good about Schultz, right? He can catch a ball. He can get over in zones. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes.
And I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It looked like
Nitty. One thing you just said about comparisons to Gronk and Hernandez. Mm-hmm. Kaylee was there when Gronk and Hernandez was there.
Yeah,
No. Hernandez.
They say he had 7 years with the tight ends.
Hernandez was gone. I looked that up last night. Hernandez wasn't there when he was there. Hernandez was long gone.
Okay.
I ain't seen no blocking yet though, Swan. I'm just looking at his pass catching out here.
He makes blocks, bro. I watched the film of him.
He said that. Did she say that wigger? Like
wigger? No, yeah, she said that.
Swan funny, bro. I swear.
Let's see that.
I can see whether we end up with Gunnar or Luke. I mean, me personally, I want Luke because I see the upside of him, and then on top of that, our producers tight ends at a high clip, and none of those guys go high in the draft, you know, or priority wise in the draft. So we can't go wrong with that. And like I said, he more than likely will be the 5th round. They got him in the 5th round. If he goes to the combine to show out, the highest he can go is maybe 3rd, potentially 4th, but he will be there in the later rounds for us.
You say who will be there?
Luke from Iowa.
Luke, yeah. I think Luke, I don't know if you're looking at it like that's you know, if you go into the draft, if he's the number 1 tight end on your board.
You don't take him that high.
No, I'm just saying we probably not taking a tight end that high anyway. So I'm just saying, would he be your number one tight end on your board if you're not even planning on taking a tight end in round 1, round 2, round 3? Would you automatically be like, okay, I'm gonna probably jump into the tight end game around the 4th round and on under? So would that make him your top tight end?
Yes.
So out of all the tight ends, even the guy, the helm who we just looked at, everybody, you think it's Luke Lachey?
Okay, so you got Loveland. He's the number one tight end. And you have Tyler Warren from Penn State. Some people view him as the number one tight end. A lot of people feel like he is another Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Is there Brock Bowers in this draft? Is there somebody that could be like that?
If anyone's close to Brock Bowers, honestly, it would be Warren. Only difference between them is Bowers is more of he got more speed on him than Warren does. Warren is not slow, but his speed is very deceptive. You know what I'm saying? If you're not paying attention to him, he'll get by you.
I want to say this. I don't want nobody to be mad, but I'm just speaking on this by what Brandon just put up there. Don't be upset, Brandon, and I'm saying this to myself too, is if we running back with Dalton Schultz this year. Like,
it's potential. It's possible.
Potential because of the contract. If we cut him, we actually kind of lose that. Like, it's actually a lose if we. It's not like the Shaq Mason thing. If we cut him, we lose. I actually see, like, he's not trash. He's just not. We see him in a different light than probably a lot of other people see. Can I tell y'all this though? When Dallas fans look at Dalton Schultz, they think bro is clowning like a motherfucker over here with us, and wish that he could come back. Like, that's how Dallas fans look at it.
No.
The ones I've seen.
No, Dallas. Schultz was there for 4 years, and when it was time for him to get his contract, they went with Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
And so Dallas fans. I'm on a Houston Dallas page on Facebook, and they was like, "Oh yeah, y'all can have him," and I was like, "Shit, I thought Schultz," because I don't follow Dallas football like that. I got a close friend that's a Dallas football fan, and I asked him. I said, "Hey man, what you think about Schultz?" He was like, "Yeah, Schultz good, but he inconsistent." And I was like, "Okay." They was happy to let him go and let Ferguson come up and take that spot. But see, here's the thing though. When Nick Caserio signed Schultz to that contract, when you interviewing the offensive coordinator, that offensive coordinator, he's coordinating that whole entire offense. So he's gonna look at, say, man, we having problems with Tunsil and Titus, and hey, where you want to put these guys? You want Titus going back to the right tackle? Where you gonna put Fisher? What you gonna do with Tunsil? Patton was saying we're gonna run a power scheme. Do you think these guys that we have is gonna be good on the power scheme? Like, they asking all these questions, and now you get to Dalton Schultz. Hey, we see that on film that Dalton do not have the propensity to want to block. Yeah. Okay, do we move away from him, or do we just make him a receiving tight end? And if you have this guy that you know that he's going to get 6 targets a game, and he can get 50 yards a game, 50 times 17 is going to get you up into the 750 mark or whatever, maybe get you 7 to 8 touchdowns or whatever, and that's going to make you a top tight end in the league. And so that's what Nick Caserio is asking Kaylee. What can you do with him? And if Kaylee say, hey, I like a tight end that, I want a route running tight end first, but I need somebody that's going to be willing to block, I just really don't think and then they'll move away from it. But we'll know coming into the season, because Dalton have another year under the contract, and then we have a team option for the 3rd year. So we'll know what Kaylee thinks about Dalton Schultz.
I got you. Hey, to answer Larry real quick, Ladarius Henderson, when we drafted him, he had I want to say a foot. It was a foot injury. He had to have surgery on it, and I guess it was worse than they anticipated it being. So that's why he didn't play last year. But like I was telling the guys earlier, he's a guy that can play. He's played every position on the line. He even played some center, very low snap, like low snaps. He was like in a pinch. But he's one of those guys, I feel like going into this season, he will be your potentially swing tackle if you keep Howard at left guard and kick Fisher out to right tackle. Every team has to have that guy that can play swing, that can be a swing tackle. But he's like a Swiss Army knife. And if we're going to this power gap scheme, like I believe we are, he's perfect for what we're finna do. Because Michigan runs power. Michigan is a finesse team, a power team. Every lineman that Michigan ever had, as a lineman, if you go into Michigan, you got to be strong. You got to be able to move the guy in front of you. If you can't move the guy in front of you, you're not gonna play. And he was pretty elite on their way to the championship year when they went undefeated and won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I look for him to not start, but to at least get playing time at the swing tackle position.
Okay, Brandon say, yeah, I assume he's staying. Speaking on Schultz, he say, I'm just saying if Kaylee looks at our 3-man tight end room and thinks he wants a 4-man tight end room, what would he be looking for or to add? Definitely blockers. I think when you look at Quentin Quittorino, who we have, bro just can't stay healthy. I liked him though. Believe me, like I was so many years I'm out on him. I kind of feel like on the Mechie thing, even though I'm kind of with the switch of a OC. I'm really thinking that that we may be able to get more out of Mechie and the other wide receivers that we didn't get too much out of. But speaking of the tight ends, though, Brandon, I think we just need some of those like right now, because I say we got Jordan, right? Jordan is going to be somewhere. He's going to be one of those either, I won't say one, but he's going to be 2 or 3 as far as the tight ends go. I'm hoping he can become 2. But yeah, I just think that the next tight end needs to look like kind of like what Brandon had. Not Brandon, what Patton had up here with the Luke guy from Iowa. Something like that. Somebody who can take somebody's job, because I feel like you bring in a rookie and they pretty formidable. They could be, and look, it's not going to be hard to beat Schultz out. Like because we see what he does in the blocking game, but if you just use him still as a finesse tight end, you put him on the field sometime in passing situations, out wide. You ever seen those tight ends? It's just like out wide all the time. That could be what.
That's Brevin.
That's what. But see, what Brevin used to be though, Patton. You don't forget that even in the preseason, that we was saying, look at Brevin actually starting to block now. Like Brevin looked like he was changing his game up before he tore his ACL.
Yeah. I think the thing about Brevin is because he's like what you call a tweener. He's too slow to be, I wouldn't say too slow, but he's not quick twitch to get separation as a wide receiver, but he's faster than the average tight end, and he's learning how to block. So you could put him in the backfield as a tight end, and you can do the fake dives, pulling him out of the backfield. Because I think it was that game. Was it the playoff game or the game before we played, and he had that 78-yard?
It was the playoff game against Cleveland.
Screenplay, right?
It was. It was a screenplay. It was something out in the flats that he caught and he just took it to the house.
Hey, tell me how many tight ends in the league that you can remember taking it for 78 yards?
Not too many.
Not too many. So when you have a guy that has that, he's smaller than a blocking tight end. He's slower than a wide receiver. But so he's like a Swiss Army knife. how can I use you to my advantage? And so now when you have an offensive coordinator that can say, okay, I see your strengths. Hey, we're going to use you like this. And you know that Kaylee and the Rams, they use a lot of motion. That's one of the things that's going to be like very advantageous. If you protect CJ and you can get this guy the ball in stride, the guy he'll be 25 years old in July. You get the ball, you get that guy the ball in stride, and he has a nickel back on him, 5'9", 185. You break that tackle 10, 15, 20 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Like that it's so much potential that you can use with him. And the thing about Stover, we seen what Stover did, and I know
we forgetting about Stover, man.
Pat can speak to this because he's a big time blue and gold fan with Michigan. And tell me what you seen with Stover when you was watching him at the college level, Patton.
Hold on right quick. Hey, Larry, who is Luther B?
Luther Burden, receiver from I want to say he's in Missouri, I think.
Oh, okay.
Missouri. He receiver.
I thought that was Luther from what was that? Set It Off. Remember Luther? Oh, okay. I got off base. Go ahead, bro.
I think I want to say he's Luther is 5'11". He's like Debo. He can be used like Debo.
Look, Swan say Brevin equals Debo.
Yeah, to a degree.
A bigger Debo, like a bigger Debo.
To a degree, but I mean, Debo is way more. What's the word? Swifty or shifty?
Fluid. He's fluid because he's a wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's more fluid, but Debo is 5'11", 215. Brevin Jordan is 6'4", 225.
He's a little bit heavy. But to answer your question though, when Stover played against us, like at that time, our defense was at its peak, so he didn't really do too much. It was always to the flats. He was a very good blocker, I would say that. Stover's one of those guys, bro, where he's a football player. You're not gonna push him over. You're not gonna knock him on his ass. Like most times with guys, if he's on a slower linebacker, if a slower linebacker is on Stover in college, he's going to win that matchup every time. And if somehow he's on a linebacker that is a little bit faster but smaller, it'll bring him down. Well, not bring him down.
This is a list on PFF of the wide receivers. They got them ranked from 1 to 10, right? I just want to roll down this right quick because I know we're probably going to get a wide receiver, but this draft is so deep, y'all. Pause. That I've seen the number 10 wide receiver could actually be in our reach, and he's good. And he's
what do you want?
This is PFF.
Who?
This is PFF.
Okay.
So they got McMillan number 1, right?
Yeah.
They got Luther B, the third, number 2.
Sure. Yeah.
They got Emeka, number 3.
Yeah.
They got Matthew Golden.
Hey, pause real quick.
Uh-huh.
For all the fans out there that want to participate in like learning about players that's in the draft, PFF, they have this thing where they only give you certain information about said players, and they also make you pay to find out more about the player.
Hold on, let me see something else. I can pull up another one.
No, let me know what you're saying. What you're going about, because if you look at right here, Golden, right, it doesn't tell you nothing about him.
No, it says it's coming soon or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but look over here. Let's see if I can share this other screen. I'm gonna share this other one right
But
quick.
no, I'm not saying deter from it. You can keep going. Like out of that.
No, but I do want to have more information though, and then I kind of want to. This is what I normally do when I'm by myself too. I look at 2 lists and sometimes 3 just to see if everybody's in the loop. I'll be like, okay, now if you look at this one, So far, it looks exactly like the PFF.
Yeah.
Got the same people lined up in the same. Okay, we got Trey Harris, Matthew Golden, Isaiah Vaughn. Okay, Restrepo. This is the wide receiver from Miami. This is who I seen that a lot of people got as the number 10 wide receiver. Maybe he done moved up a little bit.
He is dangerous,
bro. And when I seen his game, I said, man, I hope he slipped to us, bro. Like if he slipped to us, like y'all remember who was the other guy who CJ was like punching the air when he got picked by the 49ers?
Ricky Parcell from Florida.
Bro, he kind of remind me they got the same kind of their game is similar, except it looked like Restrepo, if I'm saying his name wrong, maybe even better, bro. And it's like, hey, I peep bro game, bro run a 4-4. Just real solid player at wide receiver, bro.
The other guy right there, Higgins, I've seen a few mock drafts. They're picking him to come to us in the later rounds.
Really? They say Higgins brings a nice mix of size, body, control, and reliable hands to the table.
You know what that sound like?
In the intermediate areas, and let's click on him.
Do you know who that sound like?
Who?
He already on our team.
Diggs?
Hutch.
Oh, Hutch. Oh shit.
Hey, hey, read the comments. What Swan said about PFF.
Hold on, let me see. Let me get to that one. Oh, okay. She say I have PFF membership, so I got access if you need info, Patton.
Man, look, Swan, as much work as I do, you gonna give me something extra? Yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Draft guard activated.
Hey, she can help activate you more, bro.
Hey, I appreciate that,
Let me
Swan.
upgrade you. Okay, so you got Golden Bun or 4-3. Okay, yeah.
Those guys was fast as hell. Like out of those two, I like Golden more than Bun.
Yeah, we need a speed wide receiver though, because we're not gonna have Tank. That's a good question. What type of receiver do we think we need? Well, he definitely got to have some speed. We need somebody who's. Look at what Nico is though, y'all. We can't forget that Nico takes the top off of defenses too. But I do think we need that fast wide receiver because I feel like what Worthy is to Kansas City, right? He kills you with them crossing routes because you cannot stay with him. If you look at it, that's what Kansas City was using them at. Like those routes coming across the field, it's not too many people in the NFL gonna stay with that boy.
Nobody's staying with him. You gotta play zone and
I think that if you get a guy opposite of Nico that could make the safeties have to respect the other side of the field.
Oh, bro, look like pause, y'all. Bro, look like he done had a bout of Bell's palsy too. That mean you a G. I had that happen to me. Shout out to everybody who done had a bout with Bell's palsy. That's some serious shit right there, bro. Have y'all seen that? Like, I think it's somebody who had just not happened to just not too long ago in Hollywood, and it's like every time I hear a story of somebody and it happened to them, bro, I really feel for them, y'all.
It's the singer. She has it. Her name's Savannah. She knew. Justin Bieber has it.
Bro, it's wild as hell, and she was showing her progress even after 7 days, bro. That shit is some scary shit, y'all, because at the moment it feels like you're never gonna get the feeling in that side of your face again. It seems like the side of your face done died, bro. I'm talking about you literally can't blink your eye. You literally just wink in one eye. You look in the mirror, it's like when you talk, your mouth pulling to the side. It looks like you had a stroke, but it's not that. It's literally like some kind of virus that affects your seventh cranial nerve. And it just that nerve swells up inside this little cavity that it goes through in your bone in your face to get to every part of your face. And what happens is that nerve swells up and caves in on itself. It crushes itself because it swells up in that little cavity. So it kills itself basically. And when that happens, bro, it literally like your face just be like boom. It's just over with. Justin Bieber had it happen to him. It's crazy, bro. When it happens, it's like it's real like daunting because like I say, you feel like you never gonna get the feeling in your face again. And then maybe after about 6 months, 7 months, you start feeling tingles and you start being like, man. And see, that's the thing that makes it messed up when I see other people, because it's like, damn, they have no idea how long it's gonna take for their shit to get back right, bro. It takes a while, like damn near a year. I still feel like my face is at, my wife like to say, no, you like at 97, 98. I'll be like, no, I feel like I'm at fucking like 70 something, because I just remember like it's weird. But shout out anybody, man, that ever had to deal with that. But I promise, if bro don't have, which I know he didn't go to take a picture with fucking tobacco in his mouth or in his face right there. So I don't think that's what that is. I think bro dealt with, because it kind of always makes your smile be kind of crooked for the rest. It's like that's what it's gonna be for the rest of your life. What it say? Let me go get some of these. What's the name? Right quick. It says Jaden Royals, Ty Felton, Jalen Noel, Kyle Williams. I don't know. I guess I don't know. Those names may sound more familiar to Pat, and I'm not gonna lie. I normally put people and let people do what they do the best. Like I don't try to put my foot over in it. Like I truly trust in the information that Pat be getting. So he looks up this stuff. I do catch some things because I'm on Twitter all the time. Like I say, when I seen Restrepo and I seen that, okay, they like, hey, this is a deep draft as far as wide receivers go. And I said, okay, well, let me see who the
this
number
guy's
10
very
is.
dangerous though.
And he was number 10. I say, well, there's a possibility that he could slip down to us.
Now I'm gonna say this though, with all these receivers, it's only maybe 2 you can put in any system. A lot of these guys coming out now, and this is for any player, all players, period, in my personal opinion, they have to go to the right team.
Mm-hmm. Good points, man.
Like these coaches, the coaches in today's NFL game, they are learning to adapt to use your player to that player's strength. They're not forcing the player to come in and adapt to their system. So these coaches are drafting players that we have a system in place. Can this player fit here perfectly? It's all about fit, and the game's been that way for quite some time.
So we beat the motherfuckers. Yep. I mean, I promise, if we would have just had a better OC, man, somebody that just would have said, hey, look, I can change in the second half. Like, man, we would have won that game, man. I really do feel like that even though the refs was doing all that bullshit that they was doing, we were still good as far as what we did defensively in that game. It's just that in that third and fourth quarter when we couldn't do nothing on offense, that's just what it was. It's just what it was, bro. Maybe if we'd have scored one more touchdown, a field goal, and then we can't forget, man, Kaimi curved out in that game. There's a lot of he kicked those field goals and hit at least the 3 or 4 that he missed. That score would have looked a lot different too. It would have put a belief in the team. Like, see, sometimes when the team look at the clock up there and they like, damn, this how much time we got left, and this is the score right now, and look at how the game been going. This is kind of impossible. It's gonna take a miracle to win. But if you've been playing a good game and you notice like, oh, hold up, if we just go down here, score, and stop these guys and kick a field goal, we win the game, then you see the team muster up that energy to do so. Texans wasn't able to muscle up nothing. They knew, like, bro, we ain't got nothing on offense. Those blitzes that we saw, those same blitzes. Didn't we see those same blitzes in the Bills game, right? And the Bills were picking up some of them. Some of those blitzes got through, those safety blitzes, but think about it. The Bills were able to pick up some of those blitzes a lot of the time.
Yeah, they was, but look at Larry's statement, and
this one right here.
Yeah, that one right there. If we had a healthy wide receiver room in the last 2 years, would advance to the AFC Championship game.
Yes.
This is why when I hear people say that, hey man, we could just score this amount, like 21 points a game. Pittsburgh used to score 22 points a game this past year. They was ranked number 18. You can't have the 18th ranked defense because the top 18 teams don't get into the playoffs. So you have the 14 teams that get into the playoffs. So if you even at the 14th team, you're at the bottom. So
where were we at in offense? Where were we at on offense, Killer, this year?
We was number 18. We was 22 points a game.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you said Pittsburgh. That was Pittsburgh.
No, Pittsburgh was right up under us at 21.9. Rams 21.9.
Okay.
And then we was 22. What I'm saying is you have to get from that 22 up to when you get up to Cincinnati was at 27. So a lot of times when you look at the 22 to 27, you're like, oh man, that's only 5 points. Cincinnati offense looked way better than our offense. And then when you have Washington, they were 28. You have Tampa Bay with Baker. They were 29. You telling me that CJ is not better than Baker? You telling me that CJ is not on par with the rookie quarterback with Washington? It's not better. You telling me that Philadelphia that was 28 points a game? You telling me CJ is not better than Jalen Hurts? You got Baltimore. Baltimore scored 30 points a game. I understand they got 2 MVPs, but I believe in CJ. So when you get to that 27 to 30, that's Super Bowl contention. When you at 21-22, you asking your defense to do a hell of a lot. And D'Amico done a hell of a lot. If put it like this, if the Texans was scoring 27 to 30 points a game, we're 14 and 3.
Yeah.
We're probably 15-2. I mean, really, because there's a lot of games that we couldn't score in the second half. So we have to come out this year and know that in the first half.
Let me ask you this, Killer.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that the schedule wise, do you think last year the schedule we just went through was tougher? Because this was supposed to be a tough schedule. You think next year is harder?
I believe in that because not this past year, the year before that. And I could pull it up. And it's gonna take too long. But do you know that the AFC South had 3 teams? It was Indianapolis, Tennessee, and us. That we were all over 500. So they won 9 games or more. So when you go off into the season, they're going by what you did the year before. So my thing is, what you did the year before,
don't matter. We know it can change. Injury.
It can change, man. That shit can change. So that strength of schedule, like if you are a number 1 team and you got to play another number 1 team in that division, well, fuck, you supposed to be just as good as them. So that shit shouldn't scare you at all. I should be able to go and play against Minnesota, whoever was number 1, Detroit. I don't give a damn. I should be able to go stand toe-to-toe with you and beat you. So that strength of schedule shit don't mean nothing because that shit change year by year.
Yep, you're right. You know what? I'm glad you said
13, and the next year they could be, 10-7.
That's exactly how I look at that, bro. Like, that's always been my argument. Whenever I've heard people say that, I was like, well, the teams have to pan out the same way they did last year. That means that teams lose free agents. Like every team does not return back to be that same team that they was the year before. So and the way the NFL likes to do it, they go by playoff teams. They'll be like, well, there are 10 playoff teams on your schedule and you only had like 3 teams last year. And so they feel like you playing these playoff teams, which I understand they numbers and why they look at it like that. But I look at it more like how you say killer. It doesn't scare me at all because I'm like, yo, those teams still have to play us. And like I used to say at the beginning of the year on the show, I said, teams got to play us too. We on their schedule, just like they on our schedule. The Houston Texans are on your schedule, and man, I know one thing about the Houston Texans. And I want to say this. I know we've been here an hour and 35. The Texans have our the way the media looks at us, and I know we should not give a damn about what the media. I think that's what the Texans need to do. I think we need to put our heads down, and I think we need to just focus on our team and who we are, and just get better in those areas of which we know that we need to get better in. Like Patton say, the draft is going to just say so much. I think the biggest news that we're going to be getting now is finding out, as this the staff fills out, we'll kind of be able to get a picture of what kind of scheme and what they're gonna be running over there. We already got an idea. We know how they do things, but I just think that Kevin O'Connell made Sam Darnold look damn good. In the playoffs, you seen what the real Darnold was, though. Like, it seemed like they put him right back in his spot. And it's crazy, too, when you think about it, just real quick. Bro was in line to probably be getting that playoff game was $100 million game for him. Yeah. If he wins that game, some other team or maybe even Minnesota is looking to pay, which I don't think it was Minnesota because they got the other guy behind them, but somebody was going to be willing to take a chance on Darnold. Darnold in that game got put right back to why and it's funny. It's like Jay-Z say, you are what you are, player. Hey, he ended up being what we thought he was. And I just think that scheme, and the reason I'm bringing all of that up, I just think that scheme with a healthy CJ, and I'm putting the healthy on it because I think CJ was playing through some injuries this year. I really do. I really think that CJ is a dog, and sometimes when you're a dog, you're not gonna go to the medical room and say, "Hey, this is bothering me," and this is that. It's like pulling teeth. They gotta find out, like, oh, hey, we seen you limping after this play. You good? Yeah, I was good. It was just a little, but I think those little dings and him getting sacked all them times, it was taking more of a toll than we thought, and we could see it at the end of the year when he finally decided to run. He was running, but when bro took them hits, it looked like it was taking him a lot longer to get off that ground. And we seen that in Kansas City. In Kansas City, he really was like, he was trying to drop the shoulder down on dudes. And before we know it, man, it was taking bro about 15 minutes to get up off the ground, man. It was like, and then they carried him off that field. Y'all remember that? They had to bring Davis Mills in. And it was funny because during that game, I nicknamed him Save Us Mills. Save us Mills. Like, bro, come. I just thought really, and I'm a Texas fan through and through. I just thought that when Mills came in, something was going to spark the offense. I say, Mills finna come in here and save us. I set it up that, like, shout out Stressings. We were up there in the watching the game together, me, him, and Patton. And I was like, I said, Save Us Mills is in the game. I said, man, I say he gonna do, and bro didn't do nothing.
I walked off of your legs.
Hey, yeah, you walked off. He was like,
hey, I went outside to go smoke, bro.
I'm like, bro, I tried to give bro a quick nickname and everything. He said Darnold lost over $1 million for throwing the future earnings off their final performance. Yeah, I actually felt sorry for him, man. Let me read this by Swan because it's a pretty long one right here. She says, Brandon Doc Payton. She say, damn, that third round crap. She say, damn, that third round crap. We passed on getting BTJ and AD Mitchell worthy for Diggs. Wasted time waiting on Hutch and Mechie. We need to go get a tier 1 wide receiver because we can't wait for guys. Yep, yeah. I understand that. That's why I think on the cool, y'all might think I'm tripping, but I think if we keep that first round pick at 25. If we keep it and don't trade back, I want to see a wide receiver pick. I'm not lying. I really want.
It depends on who's there, bro.
Yeah, it depends. But let me ask y'all this: would y'all be mad if, like, because I seen a mock draft say that we picked that running back out of Boise State? Would y'all be upset?
Yeah, I know. Yes, I know. No, because Mixon is getting older, and that would be the very, very dynamic between him and Mixon, a 1-2 punch, a good 1-2 punch.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because I feel like we can do better at going to get receiver. Also, yes, because he won't be there, bro. There's too many teams that desperately need a running back, and he's the cream of the crop in this draft. I also feel like due to him playing against lesser competition,
I'm gonna go back to this. I'm gonna come back to your quote, Swan, after this, but I want to put this one up.
Bro, he's gonna have a hard time adjusting, bro.
Top 15.
Yeah, he's gonna have a hard time adjusting to NFL, bro. Unless once again he goes to the right situation. He's came out and said he wants to go to Dallas, so let Dallas go pull that trigger.
But I also want to go to this quote here, especially this part where you say right here is that we need blue chip niggas on the offense now. We gotta be built on offense to beat the Ravens and Chiefs. And I totally agree with that because
1,000%.
When you look at what the Chiefs brought out as far as wide receivers, they had a lot of former number ones out there. And that means that from they top 4, they wide receiver room is better than ours. It's better than ours. The Ravens, their wide receiver room is better than ours. It's they got some dogs that can be like they just got dogs, formidable dogs. We got Nico, and we got a lot of potential. You know what I'm saying? If we can bring, like I say, we now let's give Nick his props. Let's give Nick. Nick had us at the beginning of the year with Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Diggs, and just them 3 right there. When we seen them all on the field together, it looked good, but we got to get something like that back. We have to have star potential on that wide receiver part of the team, y'all. We just have to.
Yeah. I agree.
And I don't know if we get maybe the second round if we don't go first round, but I just think that like you say, what Swan said, we waited and see what really sparked me was the BTJ thing, because man, it's just like when you imagine
he was the best receiver in the draft.
When you we could have got him, bro. And when you think about him being on the same field with Nico, and it would have been Tank Dell, would have been Diggs if they'd have stayed healthy. Man, that would have been a scary wide receiver, bro. That would have been literally scary, bro.
Listen, if you get him, there is no Diggs because that trade don't happen.
Exactly. So basically, we traded Diggs to get.
But also, if you do that, then you don't get Lassiter either, though. So,
and you know that they thought that he was, because you know all those LSU wide receivers, which my guy in New York did do his thing, but I don't think a lot of.
I'm gonna say this about Malik Neighbors. He's a good receiver. I feel like because he's in New York and they have been deprived of a receiver since OBJ, they forced him the ball a lot, and he's the alpha amongst betas in that organization on the offensive side of the ball. So he won't be there much longer if they don't fix their quarterback situation this offseason.
Oh yeah, I feel what you're saying right here too, Brandon. Say if D'Amico thinks he's getting the next Dexter Lawrence or Jeffrey Simmons go for the middle of his D line. Yeah, I do think we need that too. Like we've been working with what we have, right? But let's just say D'Amico does and is able to snatch one of those type of guys. Like, think about how crazy that would make our defense. You know what I'm saying? But
let me explain it to you real quick, man.
It takes time for those guys to.
I was just gonna tell you, bro. Like with D tackles, bro, those guys are the most hit and miss because you won't see maximum potential until year 3. Because the first year, you're strong in college, but you're strong in college is a different strong in the NFL. Like you seen Philly had back-to-back years when they got Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, right? Both those guys. Well, Jordan Davis is a gap blocker. He clogs the gaps, right? But he's strong. Jalen Carter is a guy that moves linemen effortlessly, like easily, right? Once these boys got to the NFL, like Carter had a good rookie season. Jordan Davis, it was pretty decent. But you won't see these guys hit their stride until year 3.
And I ain't gonna lie, Carter did have a good rookie season. Very good.
Right place, right time. I say that with him.
Yeah, with Philly. Yeah, in Philly where it's like they line is already kind of crazy. And who was the guy next to him?
Jordan Davis.
Yeah, that's true. There you go, right there.
Jordan's taking on double teams every play, so you have the one-on-one every play.
You have to win. Yeah, he's clowning now. It's like, bro. Like, if we had a chance to get him too, but I'm glad we didn't though. Like, I wasn't looking nowhere at a defensive tackle at that time. It says part of why Caserio traded out is the wide receiver.
I'm with Swan.
It's likely to disappear right in front of us in that draft. What she say right here? Hey, Lawrence Simmons ain't gonna get us past the Ravens and Chiefs. We got to put up points. Yep. That's what. Right now, that is the cure for the Houston Texans ills right now. We all seen it. We seen that the defense is formidable. We need that offense. We need that offense to step up to be superstar, and it cannot just be all on CJ. You got to have the skilled players out there, bro. You just got to. You know what I'm saying? And we're not probably gonna have Tank, even though Tank is saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be back out there on TikTok," but I'm not counting on it. And I'm pretty sure his camp, even though he may be chomping at the bit to get out there, may try to tell him, "Hey, you need to chill out." But we don't know what God can do. Well, we do know, but we know that it can happen way faster than we think, according to God. So just all the blessings and everything towards Tank. But y'all, man, we are almost at the 2-hour mark, and 62 people in here with us. We appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate everybody in the bull ring, man. Swan, Brandon, Larry. Hold on, I'm scrolling up here because I don't want to miss y'all. Let me see. We had my guy DQ in the building today. Tonight. We had hey, y'all been in here tonight. There's somebody I can't pronounce your name. He had this right here. I can't pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. Let's see. We had Damian Steels. Shout out to you, bro. We had Jimmy Boy 79 in here, man, with some good comments and questions and stuff, man. Y'all don't know how much of a part that y'all play in the show as well. Like, y'all are a big part of the conversation. That's why we do it the way we do. We like to feel that y'all are a part of the conversation. So even when you put a comment up here, we read it. We're gonna bounce off of the topics and subjects that y'all bring to the table, and we thank y'all for that. We're finally here. We're finally here at the stage where we got our OC, y'all, and they are putting together the staff. This is what we all been waiting for. This is gonna be fun. Just be optimistic. I know, like it's funny. It's like I'm pretty sure Caserio, like, damn, every time this time of year, I always gotta prove myself again. Well, I'm gonna tell you this, Nick. I understand that in this time right here, I'm willing to say that you're a good GM. I'm almost willing to say great because of the way you put together these makeshift teams sometime with these 1-year contracts. I think is diabolical. Not too many people can do that and be successful is what I'm trying to say. Like to just totally revamp your like think about it. CJ's rookie year, the defensive tackles, right? You had Rankins, you had Collins, you had a lot of good players out there. And we seen Nick rearrange that shit. And I seen people in Texas Twitter like, hold up, what are you doing? We don't know. And bro, actually, these guys were actually better than what we seen. So it's like Nick learning on the job. not learning from like day one on the job, but he's getting better. Like that's what I mean. He's getting better on the job as his years progress and he's in his position as GM. He's getting better. So I look for him to have an even better year this year. I'm definitely looking forward to the draft and what we do in free agency because it's just gonna be it's Nick. Hey, it is what it is. And hey, is it anything that y'all want to what's the name? What do you say? Don't forget Caserio first 2 years. Yeah, like I feel like what happened with Deshaun, Deshaun tried to make him look bad. But look at what he did with those picks, though. That was the best thing he ever did to me. When he got 3 first rounds for Deshaun, I was like, hey, Nick, my guy.
Nick, my guy. Let me say this about Nick in his first 2 years. Everybody knows that Nick wasn't trying to win hiring David Culley. He wasn't trying to win hiring Lovie Smith.
He just turned around and just said, whoever in the room, when I stop and my finger pointing at you, you head coach.
And my thing is, look, man, me personally, me as a black man, I'm not going to disrespect David Culley because he was put in a situation, and I remember listening to 610 radio.
They used to dog him, man.
And they were like, hey, man, I think it was John McClain, and I think they was at it was at training camp or some shit like that. It was like the voluntary, not mandatory, but just voluntary. Yeah. And so they was like, and see, my thing is, I didn't like, and I don't want to go here, but I'm going to say this. I didn't like the fact that 610, AM 610 and 790 had white boys that's in their 30s that felt comfortable berating a guy that it's already hard for a black coach to actually be in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And you berating him and you 33 years old and you talking about him, how dumb he is and shit like that. I wouldn't partake in that shit. I was glad that David Culley spent 27 years in the league and was able to get a severance package to get a 4-year contract for $21 million, coach for 1 year, and be able to leave with $17 million more.
I felt so good for bro, man. Like I was like, man.
But I would never, because I knew what the Texans, what they were trying to do, because and this is one of the things that kind of upset me, like when we was talking about the search for offensive coordinators. Mm-hmm. Do y'all know that when we hired David Culley, like we was the first one to go and interview for all the coaches. We interviewed Steichen and all these other coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And every time that we chose a coach, we was the last one to choose a coach. Mm-hmm. That lets you know that Nick Caserio was trying to let the whole thing pass by and say, well, we're going to go and settle with this guy. Lovie Smith was not trying to be a head coach. And it was like, okay, it's another placeholder. So it was another placeholder that they was able to bring in. So mm-hmm. when I say this, I hate the way that Nick Caserio treated Culley. Lovie Smith, he already he's already like solidified in the game.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, they knew what they was trying to do. The first 2 years, we was in cap hell trying to get rid of Deshaun Watson, trying to alleviate, trying to bring in more picks. And the first 2 years, we wasn't trying to fucking win
at all. Zero. If you thought that, hey.
So if you judge, like you gotta judge Nick Caserio from year 3 and do your own homework. Go and look at his draft board, not draft board, free agency in year 3, and then look at his draft. And then look at his free agency in year 4 and look at his draft. Look at all those players and look what it was able to encompass to where we at right now.
Can I say this, Killer? And would y'all agree with me in saying this? That Nick is probably like the best GM we done had as far as drafts go. Like I've never seen a GM come in
even close, man.
Pick Kalen Bullock, Kamari Lassiter, and bros is like starting, bro. Like
it's not even close. I know people gonna say, well, you got Stingley, or he was gonna fall in your lap. No, you have a guy that needed a quarterback and went got the quarterback. And I'm sitting up here watching the draft, and they were like, they could have just said, "Oh shit, the Texans is on the board for the 3rd pick."
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me shit about D'Amico Ryans. Mm-hmm. That was all Nick Caserio, because
all Nick Caserio.
Hey, look, D'Amico, we need a quarterback, and D'Amico was like, "We need that defensive end." Caserio said, "Okay, well, this is what we're going to give up to go and get it." And he made it happen. So you can't sit up here and just shit on Nick Caserio because of the moves that he's made. And when you look at this roster, this is a Super Bowl roster, minus Bobby Slowick, because Bobby Slowick is the one that fucked us out of being where we at. We dominated Kansas City on both sides of the ball.
Hold up. Peyton say Nick wasn't tanking. He fucked up and almost got fired. NFL owners ain't signing off wasting 30, 40 million on one and done head coaches.
All right. Okay. Respect to Larry. If that's what you believe, okay. Look at the roster right now. Go look at the roster for the first 2 years that Nick was here, and look at the salary cap that he had, and look at what he was trying to establish. And then go back, look at Nick from year 3, year 4, and then look at right now. Look at that roster.
Two totally different.
Tell me a better roster that I know the Philadelphia and the Lions, you know, they got good rosters right now. But if you go and look at our roster, tell me we don't have a Super Bowl roster.
No, we got it easy. Like the best roster I didn't, and I've been here since 2002. The best roster I done seen put together as far as like a GM purposely saying, look, like I'm telling you, it's not, you know, mostly what we will see is the gamble of the NFL. Okay, I'm gonna sign this guy for 2-3 years. He might not get good until his 3rd season, and now he's a free agent, and then we'll be seeing him getting signed off somewhere.
That boy said 1 year.
Yeah, Nick was like, hey, I'm gonna give you 1 year contract, and you're gonna come in here and you're gonna play. Like, I'm gonna tell you, the way he pimped the game and knowing that players play hard on a contract when they know that they're going to get paid the next season, like, hey, this is a contract year. That's what Nick is doing. He's putting certain players in a contract year situation. He's like, hey, you want to come play for us? I'm gonna put you in this contract year situation. I'm going to sign you for 1 year. You're going to come here and clown and play your ass off for us, and somebody going to pay you some money. Now, what I'm hoping that happens this year,
and he was only doing that to get to the draft picks, because he drafted Nico Collins.
Mm-hmm.
We finna make Steen the highest paid cornerback. Mm-hmm. You know Will Anderson is about to get paid. You know CJ is about to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he did that to get the guys that he actually wanted. Those 1 year contracts was for guys to go and fill a 53. I just need to fill the roster, bro.
And he filled it like, and he did his thing too, and feeling that mug. I'm talking about the way he did that. Nick gonna always get my respect. I'm Team Nick all the way. I forgot all about the whole Patriot stuff. One thing, and even if I thought about the Patriot stuff whenever it came to Nick, all it tells me is bro been around a winner. He knows how a winning organization operates. He knows that Bill Belichick does this one thing, and all his players say it. He doesn't worry about what you can't do. He learns what you can do and what you can do, what you are the best at doing, and he puts you in position to do just that one thing. And that one thing becomes your job, i.e. the thing that would be over there, the thing that they would always talk about, do your job. He only gonna give you what you do best. And that's all we need you to do. We don't need you to do nothing else. That's what Caserio understands. Put the players out there that can do the best. They can do the best thing that they know how to do. And slowly but surely, if you look at it from his beginning years, which I agree with you, Kill, on what you said. All of that was scheme. I think Cal understood that. Because see, we started to see Cal get more involved in the team once Caserio came around, if y'all noticed that. Like, Cal has always been the president, but he got a little bit more. Even his wife, Hannah, got a little bit more involved with the team when Nick came around and I only going by what Larry said about, them not wanting to waste 30, 40 million.
No,
I think they told Nick that they willing to do that. They willing to do that.
They had a bag of trash that was stinking up over there on Kirby. When they got rid of, you late.
What's up, AD?
We good, AD. But thank you for checking in. We always appreciate you.
Yeah.
They had a bag of trash in the building. And when they got rid of Jack Easterby, that's when Cal was going out there flipping hamburgers.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Cal and Hannah was on the back tailgate with Sarge. Sarge is an independent media guy. I know people can say what they want to say about Sarge. Look, I respect him because that's one person that I've seen to get Stingley on several one-on-one interviews.
Yeah, I saw him get the Hannah and Cal, and when I was seeing him get Hannah and Cal,
that's what I'm saying. So when they got Jack Easterby out the building, Hannah told Cal, "Hey, we need to do something to get our fans back into this." And that's when he was out there flipping burgers and, we got to change the color scheme and we got to go and, make the, the different logos and shit like that. So that was all in trying to bring the fans back.
Mm-hmm.
But you had that one guy in the building. And when Andre Johnson, look, bro, Andre Johnson is like the motherfucking Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said that I don't talk a lot, but when you got one guy in the building that think he's the boss and he's not the boss, when he said that, bro, you had a guy that was part of that Texas organization and he stepped back and said, I don't want nothing to do with this shit because I do not co-sign what Jack Easterby. And that's the only time we ever seen Andre Johnson ever speak out.
Like that.
When Andre Johnson spoke out, they had to make a move.
Yeah, because the fans was going to follow.
Because Andre is that guy. Everybody can say what they want to about J.J. Watt and whoever else. Andre Johnson is
the Godfather, like you say.
He's the thumbprint, the blueprint, the Godfather of the Texans organization. He's the one. I'm glad that he's the first one to go in the Hall of Fame. I'm glad he's the first one to be in the Ring of Honor. He deserved that shit. That dude moved from Miami, came to H-Town, and ain't never left. So shout out to Andre for getting Jack Easterby ass up out of here.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's give that boy a hand for that because, like you say, it was falling on so many deaf ears, and it seemed like when Dre said it, all of a sudden ears perked up and was like, "Hey, we need to get that boy up out of here." He about to tear this thing down. Not too many times an NFL team, and this is I also want to give the Texans a hand on this. Another change that they did, and it's something else that I see that they continue to do, is it seeming like they listening to us, y'all. It's like they listen to the fans. It's even when they did the thing for the season ticket holders where they have the meetings, and I'm pretty sure they had been doing that, but it seemed like they start listening to y'all more. It seemed like they was more like, hey, what do y'all think about these outfits?
They cared more.
Yeah, what do y'all think about the food in the concessions? We're going to throw a thing, hey, y'all come up here and test that. It's just
sandwich, man.
And it's not easy. I want to say this. y'all do know that Nick Caserio is the new standard. Like if you watch the media in the NFL, they always try to find a model for team building. And what Nick Caserio has done the last 2 years, he's almost looked at as like one of the best GMs. Like he's the model. Like you follow what he did and try to what was that thing that the movie with Brad Pitt with the when Oakland was it Moneyball?
What was the description?
He was a GM for the Oakland A's.
Oh yeah, you talking about, was that Brad Pitt?
Yeah, it was Brad Pitt, but was it Moneyball was the name of it?
Yeah, it was Show Me the Money. That was
no, that was what's the name with God dog, I can't
Cuba
think.
Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr. and the other guy that do the Mission Impossible.
Okay,
and
Moneyball was
yeah, see, Swan know it was Moneyball. See, Moneyball is kind of like what if you look at how Nick Caserio, not saying they put it together the same, but what he did as a model and putting together a team, you got other teams following that right now. They following that. Think about it. The Commanders almost just did the same thing. Think about it. If you really look at what the Commanders did, they even almost down to the T. They picked the quarterback in the second round, which ended up kind of falling in their lap because somebody, I mean, not in the second round, at number 2 in the draft, and he fell in their lap because the other quarterback went number 1. You get what I'm saying? And then not only that, they hire a defensive-minded head coach.
All right.
And they almost go to not almost, they went to the championship game. It's the model. I'm telling you, it's the model now. Now, who knows what's gonna be the model next year? What other GM that just you know what I'm saying? It might end up being the Chicago Bears or whatever. But I'm telling y'all, what Nick Caserio did is looked at in high regards in the NFL. He's looked at as a top 10 GM for sure in the NFL. Whether y'all know that or not, as fans, he's definitely looked at it like that in that light. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man, to have Nick down with us. Is it anything, bro, that y'all want to bring before we close out?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, Redskins copied us. I'm telling you,
it is,
and it almost worked out to the T, bro. I'm telling you, it almost worked out to the T. I'm telling you exactly how it worked for us. But hey, like I said, man, we appreciate all of y'all tuning in. Let's play some parting music. Y'all already know, and we appreciate y'all. Hold on. What you got, Coach?
Let me say this, Nitty. You know, I'm very grateful, but when you have, you know, Brandon, Swan, and Larry Payton chiming in like 15, 20 times, that let us know that the content that we're talking about is interesting. And this is an interactive, inclusive space, and we appreciate, you know, especially Swan. You're like, you gotta, hey, Swan talked to me one night that I'm still like, I still gotta see her face to face. Like, we gotta talk. But
I'll fall for it.
Yeah. But Larry, Swan, she's a.
You're not gonna win that one with her.
You know, the
Swan is a black belt. That's why she talk like she do. She know what she got.
They run down, they do their thing, man, and I appreciate them. But I just got a shout out, man. When you go through the comments and you got Brandon, Swan, and Larry, that was like knee deep off in this thing, man. And that means a lot, man, because they're interested in what we're talking about, and we want to make sure that their voices are heard. So
no doubt, they stayed with us for 2 hours.
Yes. So when they post something, I'm glad, Nitty, that you pulled it up and we deviated from what we was talking about to get them on here to, you know, go to their.
Oh, they're a major part of this, bro. They're a major part of this, man. For real.
That's you know me, man. I can go around the beltway, but you put it on 610. So I'm gonna go a long way. I was on the
jump on the loop, man. Jump on the loop.
Yep.
Hey, digging the music, Texas on train. Hey, no doubt, man. Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, that's actually a beat that I produced, man. If y'all ever trying to get music and beats on here, man, feel free to holler at us, especially on as a matter of fact, take down my number. It's 832-330-9192. We run the Studio 777 studios over here. Shout out everybody with that. It's a beautiful thing, man. Y'all already know that we have music coming in the future. The Streets is definitely doing this thing. I got stuff that I'm gonna be dropping. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get Killer. Killer say he used to rap. We might be able to get him in here on some things, and you know what I'm saying, get that boy to take that brown book out and do this.
I got bars, bro.
He dusts that book off. It might look like how it was when it was snowing out there, but
boy,
and it might be why it snowed, man. My boy Killer blew his rhyme book off.
I just put the pen to the pad, man.
Hey,
bro.
I can just tell by way your vernacular, bro. I just feel like, bro, you got some flow, man. We might have to do that. As a matter of fact, I'm saying it now. We looking out for the new Texans on 3 intro song. It's actually gonna have us rapping on it, so it's gonna be way better than the last one. It's just gonna be dope, man. And like I say, y'all, piggybacking what Killer said. Man, we appreciate y'all. Y'all are so like y'all just don't even understand. We say all becoming interloopers. Hey, no, we appreciate y'all, man, for just, you know what I'm saying, coming in and working with us. Because that's basically what this is. Anytime I need that album, I need a feature. It ain't nothing.
Nitty.
Hey, that's what he gonna be like, man, hold up. Texas in my cup. Hold up.
Hey, Nitty.
What?
Check it out. I want to hear you niggas flow, but your rhymes concocted. I passed you the mic, but your bitch ass dropped it. I'm just gonna stop right there.
Oh, hold up, man. Boy, so you passed you the mic, but you dropped it, man. Hey, there you go, right there. Hey, we ain't even got to kick no more on the topic. But
I'm done, man. I'm done.
Hey,
you talking down, but you ain't body. You hide behind your phone, but you was a bitch, and everybody knew about it.
Hey, exactly. Hey, I'm telling y'all, we can go out. Hey,
I'm sorry.
Hey, as a matter of fact, we're gonna start this having these freestyle sessions at the end of the thing, and I would bring up some people up here, man. That if y'all in the bull ring and y'all got some skills, man, we'll bring you up here. Oh boy, Julius Harris laughing. And what's that? Hey, hold up, man. Hey, you already know what it is, but man, we really appreciate y'all, man, and we will see y'all this Friday. It is the Texans on 3, y'all. We about to go get something to eat. We up out of here.
Taco Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Real freestyle.